All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we have a very, very special treat for you all. Today I'm going to be talking to the founder of ICP, Chief Scientist at Definity Foundation, the one and only Dominic Williams. For the people who don't know who you are, tell them who you are.
Founder of the Internet Computer Project and currently President, Chief Scientist of Definity.
Awesome, yeah. So a lot of things have been happening in the ICP universe in the past year, in the past couple of years. You know, this is a project that's been going on for a long time. My first question is, the main thing that's kind of leading ICP right now is AI, and my first question is, why does AI need the ICP blockchain?
Well, there are two different roles that ICP plays with respect to AI. In the first role, it will run AI in the mode of smart contracts, and smart contracts have all of these benefits. You know you're interacting with them. You know the prompt isn't messed with, the response isn't messed with, you know that the inference was done properly, and you know that it can't be hacked. So there are a lot of applications where AI needs to be secure. For example, imagine that you want to create a secure wallet, a secure smart wallet that you can give trading instructions to. So you want to be able to speak to your wallet and say, hey, if Bitcoin hits 100,000, sell half my Bitcoin holdings for ICP or something like that. You need to know that the smart wallet, which packs a large language model inside, or at least uses a large language model, it isn't going to get hacked, because if it gets hacked, you're going to lose your crypto. The second role is that ICP provides a platform that AI can build on, and that's a new emerging use case.
Yeah, really cool, because cybercrime, and you talk about this a lot on your Twitter, is it's a multi-trillion-dollar issue. We see hacks all the time. And that's a huge thing that ICP is doing. The canisters are, protect the AI language models and everything from the cybercrime.
Yeah, and look, I mean, within Web3, we tend to think about tokens and trading a lot, and it's clear to us why we wouldn't want to trust an AI with the keys to our wallet if the AI was running on Amazon Web Services and could be hacked, right? Because essentially you'd be creating a hot wallet. But actually within the broader fields of, like, for example, enterprise IT, there are also applications for AI running as smart contracts. Imagine that you are running a law firm with 300 partners, and you wanted to make it more efficient so you could service your clients better. What you might do is, run an AI model like Llama 3, it's incredibly good, and create something called a RAG infrastructure, which essentially allows you to store all of your interactions with clients, all your previous legal filings, all of your canonical legal texts in ways that allow you to query it in conjunction with AI. And this would really help your partners serve their clients better. The problem is, first of all, that you've basically created a hot wallet for this incredibly sensitive data. So imagine now that this is all running on Amazon Web Services or servers in your data center or whatever it is, on traditional current IT, and it gets hacked. Well, the first thing a hacker might do is exfiltrate all the sensitive data, because it's a hot wallet for all your most sensitive data. It's all in one place. And this is going to be catastrophic, first of all, for your clients. It's going to ruin lives and legal cases as a result of the hackers exfiltrating the sensitive data and probably publicizing it on the web or making it available on the web. And your law firm isn't going to recover from the reputational damage. It's probably toast. So an all-around catastrophe. But even things like reliability are an issue. And imagine if it's running on current IT and it crashes. And imagine that one of your partners is preparing for a trial. And before they had this AI infrastructure, it took a few weeks to prepare for trial. Now with the AI infrastructure, they can do it in a few days. And your partner's got this trial coming up in a few days, and he hasn't started preparing yet because he knows he's got the AI, or at least he thought he had the AI. He logs in, it's crashed, there's a problem, and now he's in big trouble because he doesn't have enough time to prepare for trial. He's developed a dependency on the AI. So imagine, if a hacker gets in and installs ransomware, for example,
Yeah.
like again, you're screwed. So a law firm in this case, would have an amazing need for AI that runs as a smart contract, completely independently of Web3 use cases.
Yeah, that's awesome. And something that Definity has been working on is this thing called Caffeine AI. Now, it hasn't been released yet. And what can you tell us about Caffeine AI that's public, I guess, and maybe could you give some alpha? I don't know.
So I think I can't give too much information on caffeine. I think people can probably intuit, what it does. I think I can talk about the broader direction, which actually incorporates work that's been ongoing since 2018, which is to create a platform where AI can build that unlocks this new kind of decentralization and paradigm where anybody can create internet services or web applications just by talking to AI. So there's no technical requirement. And this is very different to using some of these modern tools like Copilot to generate some code and then, setting up an instance inside an Amazon Web Services account, installing a database and using this code to create an internet service. In the new paradigm, you only need to do that. You'll be able to talk to AI and just refresh a URL in a web browser, and there will be your custom web application, custom internet service. And what's really cool is that you'll be able to update this at web speed. So you'll be able to create something like a user forum, and that will be in production in the sense that you've got a community of people using it. And you'll be able to talk to AI to make that user forum better and improve it. So that's a new paradigm where anybody can create web applications and internet services. Now, I think a lot of engineers are going to use this too. They'll work hand in glove with AI. And so I think that sometimes it'll be non-technical people who just can get what they want by talking to AI.
Yeah.
And they'll own the underlying code that the AI has created when it creates these services, but probably those people won't even touch the code.
Yeah.
And the data's not locked in, it's running on the internet computer, and if they want some way to export the data, they can just tell the AI, give me this data export function. So that's kind of revolutionary, but sometimes engineers will work hand in glove with the AI and modify some of the code that it's producing. But this paradigm will really change the tech paradigm that we're used to. So, on the one hand, sure, you have the obvious applications like individuals will create a wedding planner, a custom version of Google Photos, personal branding website, that kind of thing. But it'll go, right the way across, if you like. So you'll have entrepreneurs creating Web3 sharing economy services or AI-driven social media, because AI can create AI. That's what's really interesting. And that'll continue. So you've got corporations and government departments using AI to create custom CRM, ERP style functionality, AI-driven knowledge bases. And oftentimes in the long run, people are going to depend much less on SaaS services, like things like Salesforce.
Yep.
They're just going to create custom web application services, whatever you want to call them, and not be locked in, and have complete power over these custom things they've created, so they can just update them and customize them and add features as they wish and get exactly what they want. And that's going to be the new paradigm. And scroll forward some number of years, and we're going to see a very different internet. Now, what's really cool is that the internet computer can already run AI models. I've demonstrated that. Soon, we'll start doing demonstrations of large language models. But over time, the power of these large language models that you can run on the internet computer will scale up and up and up. And there will be new kinds of node machines that incorporate specialized hardware that enable the internet computer to run AI faster. Now, what that means is that the AI will run within the internet computer. So in a sense, you'll have like a self-writing internet ecosystem. So, people will talk to AI within the internet computer network, which will then, in response to instructions, bootstrap and update web applications and internet services. And I think this is very important, not just for the world, because I think obviously this is a very useful feature for humanity. I mean, there's so many people in so many different situations who want to use this functionality, but it's also very important for the internet computer because number one, it'll result in a huge proliferation of web applications, new web applications, and new internet services on the internet computer, which will of course drive demand for cycles and so on. So it'll be good for the tokenomics of the internet computer. But also I think it will give people in the Web3 ecosystem who don't really know what the internet computer is. It'll give them a way of connecting with it because, because of the history of the project, there's a wall of silence. I mean, people must have noticed that, the crypto press never mentions the internet computer. Industry research organizations like Nansen and Masari, they never mention it, and they create these industry maps, and even Web3 industry maps and for AI, right? And the internet computer is the only network that can actually run AI models, and yet no one talks about it. But there's a bunch of reasons for that, and essentially it's that people are a little bit worried about the technology. But the effect of this over a few years has been that when you talk to engineers in the Web3 space, they're very confused. They hear terminology like, well, it's on chain, it's on my chain XYZ. So they built a service on Amazon Web Services, and then they've created a token for that service on blockchain XYZ. And now they say it's running on blockchain XYZ, and it's on chain. But it's not, it's more like an aspiration, right? But everyone's got kind of like confused by this aspirational talk. So, when people say in Web3, like it's built on blockchain XYZ, what they really mean is it's built on Amazon Web Services, and there's a token on blockchain XYZ. And this idea that the whole service is on chain is really aspirational. But the problem with that, that's fine. It's fine to have that aspiration, but it has confused a lot of journalists, a lot of developers, a lot of investors. And one of the fantastic things about what's coming, I think, in 25 is that all of a sudden people are going to say, well, I've got to try this out, right? I can talk to a network, and as a result of talking to this network, what I want just materializes. And, some people are going to dig a bit deeper, especially engineers. They're going to want to see the code that the AI is generating to do this. And then they're going to realize for the first time that, wow, holy cow, this thing really is on-chain, and this is what on-chain means. So I think for that reason alone, this direction that we're sort of traveling in will be incredibly important. But also, just broader, I think this is the future paradigm attack. And in the future, people will go to AI, ask for things, and it will give them what they need. Whether it's a picture, whether it's advice from GPT, whether it's a 3D model you can get printed on a local network of 3D printers, whether it's a gaming experience, these virtual, these neural networks can simulate gaming experiences, and they can simulate, that means virtual reality experiences, and even, watch how you respond to them and create experiences that excite you and things like that. So, I mean, the future paradigm is we go to AI and we ask for something we want and it just delivers it. The internet computer will just be an extension of that paradigm where people literally just talk to the network and it gives them the services and applications they want.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, the next thing I want to talk about with you is the second big narrative for the internet computer, and that's chain fusion. And when I last time did a video with you, it was almost 2 years ago now, and it was in the middle of the bear market, and it was just but when CKBTC was just rolling out and the Bitcoin chain fusion was just getting rolling. What is chain fusion technology? Could you kind of explain that in, I guess, layman's terms to the people?
Chain fusion is really the brand name for chain key technology. And chain key technology enables the internet computer to create accounts on other blockchains and sign transactions for those accounts without having a private key.
Yep.
So essentially, you know, there's something like threshold cryptography involved, and the blockchain itself is acting like the private key.
Yeah.
That's very challenging to make work. You need to be able to set up all this kind of, to run a non-interactive protocol to set up this kind of private key-like material on different nodes. You need to be able to reshare that regularly to prevent somebody collecting enough of it to be able to sign. And so there's a lot of challenging network protocol and cryptography work involved. But you know, the internet computer, which is a blockchain which nodes can come and go from, it's not like a bridge. And there's a lot of blockchains that try to copy it, and with chain abstraction. Chain abstraction is not chain key cryptography. Chain key cryptography is a blockchain. That's why it's called chain key. A blockchain that is signing, right? Transactions that can run on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever you want. And a blockchain has dynamic membership, right? Nodes come and go. A bridge has, you know, like 10 nodes which are run by friends of the company promoting some blockchain or another, and then they, you know, manually distribute the key material. And I mean, that's not chain key, right? There's a lot of people now trying to imitate it, but it's all fake, right? They're basically just like bridges. So chain key anyway is very powerful, and you know, the Internet Computer Network actually talks to the Bitcoin nodes, and so that was the first token that was supported, and you know, now people are using the Internet Computer to create Bitcoin DeFi, which is very exciting.
Oh yeah.
And Ethereum again, now Ethereum usage is going up, and I think the chain key now supports Schnorr just recently, or is about to, and so people are working on like Solana integrations and things like that. So essentially, it allows you to build out instead of, for example, if you're currently saying you're building on another blockchain, but what you really mean is you're keeping the tokens of the blockchain, right? And a little bit of DeFi there, and everything's really built on Amazon Web Services, where it could get hacked and destroy your reputation, or you know, a regulator could say, hey, this is centralized, we're holding you responsible. What you can now do is you can build all that on the Internet Computer instead, where it's completely hack-proof, where you can control it with a DAO if you want to decentralize control over the code updates. And that code that you build on the Internet Computer can directly interoperate with your blockchain, a choice where you're maintaining tokens or maybe some DeFi functionality like a DEX. So that's, you know, a major advance. But yeah, we'll have to see where it goes. But like everything on the Internet Computer, it's it's genuinely new technology. The burn is kind of slow, because if you really want to create new technology rather than just a bridge and call it chain key, you know, there are a lot of things to work out. And also DeFi works differently on the Internet Computer, so people are doing cross-chain DeFi, but it's just getting started, as you know. And there are new protocols like Signer Protocol that allows people to use DEXs like KongSwap, but in the mode of like an Ethereum DEX, where you just connect to wallet and you don't have to move the underlying tokens between the apps.
Yeah, this chain fusion technology is extremely powerful, and in the future, KongSwap is going to be utilizing it and everything. And I think it's going to enable a lot of, you know, liquidity to potentially come in the ICP ecosystem. And then also we've seen, you know, protocols like TAP Protocol, which is a Bitcoin DeFi platform utilizing chain fusion and utilizing the Internet Computer. So I think it's, you know, super, super strong. You know, there's a good product market fit for it. And, you know, I'm super excited to see in the future what KongSwap's going to do with chain fusion and everything, because that was the main thing that got me into the Internet Computer back in 21. You know, I saw the Bitcoin integration was getting, you know, it was just like the news headline about it or something. I went on the website and I made a video. I remember I made a TikTok about it and everything, and I was super excited. And that's like the first thing that ever got me into ICP, and it's, you know, still the reason why, you know, I really love this chain and everything. So,
and the good news is, in the future, people will be able to like create DeFi systems which can integrate with services like KongSwap just by talking to AI. We're going to see, you know, in a few years' time, like Web3 and the internet ecosystem generally are going to be very, very different. And AI is going to be the driving force. So at Dfinity, which is a not-for-profit foundation, we have a mandate just to do more and more R&D and just improve the Internet Computer ad infinitum. We just think about how do we just keep improving this base layer. You know, the original internet, which launched in 1983, but took off in the 1990s, had the purpose of connecting software, right, independently of where the software was. Like connect your web browser to connect to your server, or to the modern times connect to Zoom clients or to WhatsApp clients and so on. So we wanted to extend the internet so that the internet can host software as well as connect software. And so we just think about making that capability better and better. And of course, we're doing that with a network that hosts an evolution of smart contracts that's much more powerful, much more general purpose. I mean, you can use it to build a social network entirely on the network. And you can use it to run AI. And so we foresee just enormous on-chain growth in compute. So this year, the growth has exceeded 500% several times. The ICP token, there was so much compute going on. ICP token's gone deflationary a few times. And all of these, so just to put it in perspective, like we're doing like, what is it, like 1 million Ethereum equivalent transactions a second? Yeah. So, in 1 hour, there's more on-chain compute on the internet computer than on all other blockchains in the world combined in a year or more, substantially more, right? So, it's doing vastly more smart contract compute than the entire internet blockchain ecosystem in sum. And so, we think about that growth, that 500% growth that we saw this year, like getting even bigger. Yeah. We expect to see growth in the thousands of percent. And so a lot of our work is really just, focused on like making sure the internet computer scales, making it more efficient, reducing, for example, in some of these Stellarator, I think it was, we reduced the latency by a half, and making sure, for example, that it's possible to run AI efficiently, which we've been doing very, very successfully. And so that's it, for us. We're just like, let's make this work, faster, more efficient, more scalable, and of course, adding protocols that make it easier and easier to create DeFi on the internet computer and integrate that DeFi with other blockchains.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. Everything you said today is like super valuable. If you're listening to this right now, this is probably going to be something that, hopefully they play, 10 years from now and stuff like that. And, I highly recommend watching my interview with Dominic back almost 2 years now. And you can kind of, because we talked about Chain Fusion 2 years ago, and you can kind of, see where the progress has been and everything. And, I'm a builder in the ecosystem, and there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening. And, since I've entered the ecosystem, there's a ton of new builders and everything. So everything's super exciting. But I know, your time is kind of limited. You got other stuff to do, you're a very busy man and everything. So do you have any last final words for the audience before we wrap this up?
Gosh. Only that I think AI is an absolute game changer, not just for the internet computer, but for Web3. And, people, if you're really interested in Web3 and the future of the internet, beyond just tokens, like look at the internet computer. I mean, today, there's no traditional blockchain, by which I include pretty much every blockchain. It's not the internet computer. That can even store a single phone photo. And people often don't understand this because of this vernacular that we have in the Web3 industry, like built on blockchain XYZ. Yep. And we've done, we've done surveys, and 95% plus of people don't understand that this means they're building on Amazon Web Services, just the token on the blockchain. And if you can't store a phone photo, you're not going to be able to run AI on chain. That's common sense. Like, a large language model can have, 100 million parameters and require, very substantial computational resources. So running AI as smart contracts is non-trivial. Internet computer projects benefited from more than 1,000 years of R&D at this point. We have a big team. You'll hear actually, and here we are downstairs in the basement where we've got a studio, because we couldn't do it upstairs. It was being used in the event space. And there's a floor above us with an event space, cafeteria for staff. There's 5 stories of office space above, full of very serious R&D people. And it's no secret that Dfinity is around the largest R&D operation in blockchain since really the end of 2017. And we've just been absolutely relentless. What we don't do is invest money that could be better spent on R&D into, a lot of, paid press, paid KOLs, market manipulation, fake industry research, all that stuff, right? We just keep on going with R&D. And, we also don't pay customers to choose us, right? We've, in the last 3 years, we've seen like blockchain spend, tens of millions of dollars sponsoring soccer teams, Formula E racing teams, America's Cup teams. We've seen them spend, tens of millions of dollars, paying big corporations to choose them. So none of which they reveal, of course, and sometimes it gets out. All we do is just R&D here at Dfinity, really. Of course, we do some, PR and so on, and we're not like just totally sealed off. But if you want the real deal, like if you really care about where Web3 technology is going, and you want to be involved with people that really care about the technology and the open internet and blockchain, who've been working in the field for more than 10 years relentlessly on just trying to make the technology better, check out the Internet Computer. There's nothing else like it. Be a bit skeptical when you hear all this stuff about on-chain AI and stuff. Ask what does that mean? Is it on-chain because it's really on Amazon Web Services and now you've created a token for it? Is that what on-chain means, or does on-chain really mean running as a smart contract on the blockchain itself? Ask the questions, do your research, and check out the Internet Computer ecosystem. It's fast developing. Some of the stuff that often other blockchains start with because it's monetary, like DeFi and so on, actually came last with us, really. The first thing we did was make it possible to create a social network on the blockchain, like actually on the blockchain, not on Amazon Web Services token on the blockchain. The DeFi stuff's maturing pretty rapidly, and Aaron here and his team, like at CongSwap, are doing some amazing stuff. So, please follow us and stay informed.
Yeah, so that concludes the interview with Dom. Super,
Thanks, man.
It's been a pleasure. Of course, it's the first time we've done this in 2 years, so really awesome and everything. And if you want to go follow me, make sure to follow me on X at Aaron Bremser _, and then you can find me on all other socials, TikTok, YouTube, just Aaron Bremser, but on X, it's Aaron Bremser _. So please go follow me there, and thank you all for watching.